Oh, I'm sensing one or two names.
Tell me the names.
Mary, a Mary, a Temperance.
That's very clear. You're coming out with these names very clear.
Yeah, it's just that there are a few, you know, and I'm trying to sift through them and put them in their place, if you like. We're talking about having people hanged here or deported. That's another feeling I get very, very strongly, that many people here were facing deportation.
Okay. Can you put I don't want you to describe this Mary and this Temperance, but could you put on, you know, an age on them when they were tried and
yeah, I think you know, you're only, as far as I can see anyway, you're only talking about maybe 20s or 30s or something. You're not talking about elderly.
So young girls?
Younger women.
Younger women,
yeah,
okay.
Yes, definitely.
All right, but there's just the two that are here, that are strong.
I've got another name, and Alice crops up, you know, comes into my mind.
We'll get Leslie to verify everything in a second. Let's move on, let's move out of here. What are you getting around this area?
Do you know, well, I'll tell you straight away, because previously I had come down here and sat within this cell here, which is 9.
Oh, to do the drawing.
So, yeah, to do the drawing. What I got was the image of a large man. I couldn't see his features that well. I mean, I tried to sketch it out as best I... Was that a cry? Yeah. Here, I thought I picked up a name of John, and I'm now placing that here, if you like.
What did he do? Do you have any idea what this big guy called John did centuries ago?
I think, well, the reason he was here, you mean, in the complex is, I think what he had done, he had been tried and accused, well, he'd been accused of murder. I think he'd been accused of murder, of murdering some other person. Oh, was that a high-pitched deal?
Yeah. Who do you think it is that's making the noise?
Well, I don't know. We're talking about a person that I've felt here, the person I will call John.
John.
For now, okay? Now, every time I've done that, we've got the noise. So, I mean,
okay.
You know, we're...
And can I just ask you, from your point of view, from a spiritual point of view, if we hear a we always assume that it's a woman. That's not necessarily true, is it?
I think it's more a means of communication. I don't think it's because it sounds at that pitch. Was that it again?
Yeah.
That it's not necessarily a woman. It's just a means of communication. It's a method of communication.
John, if there is a spirit of John here, please make a noise, John. Thank you, John. No, I tell you what, I really don't want to be down here later on in the dark.
No, it is. It's got us. Well, apart from the fact that it's also very cold, isn't it? It's
freezing
cold. Know, down here, I don't know what Kieran says about that.
It's colder than upstairs, definitely.
Yeah, well, maybe understandably so. But I feel very cold to the core.
It is absolutely freezing. Now, Leslie, who's been lurking down here in the prison cells, you know, like you do, what sort of things are correct historically with the things that Brian's been talking about?
When we get into the courtroom, I was really interested in the names of the witches. And you're bang on right, we've got Temperance Lloyd. Listen to that word, Temperance. I'm very pleased with that, Kieran, because at this point, at the time of the restoration of Charles II, that's what we're discussing, sure. It was most unusual in the 1680s to be involved in witchcraft trials. We were much easier about it. The worst of it was over, and had been over for some time. She did admit to it, actually, and it doesn't seem with torture either. So that in itself is interesting. Mary's right too. She was another witch. You haven't given a surname yet.
No.
There was another one as well you haven't given us yet, and then a third not at that trial later, but still tried here.
What about down here, though, very quickly?
Yeah, OK, very quickly, let me just tell you these cells, if these are relatively modern, there have been cells here for a very, very long time. There's the Victorian bit, there's the 1773 bit, and you're picking up all of these layers. Now, I found no less than 9 Johns, because, of course, it's a very common name from the 1788 time.
It is. It's a common name now.
It is, but except there's an interesting thing about these ones. They were all exported to Botany Bay, or deported rather, to Botany Bay, and for acts of, in most cases, violence. So I'm quite interested in that, of the ones you had. They were given 7 years in the new land, so I'm interested in that as well.
OK, well, I think we should come back here and do some vigils and possibly a séance by cell number 9, and hopefully we'll make contact with John.
Our apparent contact with some of the spirits and phantoms that appear to be held within the location make us impatient to switch to night vision. What shocks await in the coming hours of the night?
Angry big man.
Something's crying down here. Is it?
We commence in the cells, attempting to contact the spirit of a large man who Brian believes was held here awaiting trial for murder. Brian and I are joined by Leslie, Kath, Carl and Stuart, and our séance begins.
Do you sense anybody here, Brian?
Yes, there's very much someone here. There's the presence of a man.
It's gone colder.
Bitter.
And also, I'm getting a
Who is
breeze
it?
across me, almost a draft. What did you do? You killed. This man is killed. He was deported. This man was deported, I'm pretty sure. He was steeped in violence.
He was.
Angry big man.
How old? Can you see how old he was?
Late 30s, maybe mid to late 30s, but very angry, burly, big man.
Any name?
Very, very violent, very violent. Cornelius Conley. Strong, Cornelius Conley, I'm sure. Yes, the trip across was very rough, wasn't it?
Cornelius, are you with us now? Please, we want to know that you're here.
My face is itching.
Is it?
Crazy. Yeah.
It's an anger towards someone specific. Was it a captain, a ship's captain? Was it who? Phillips? Captain Phillips? And a great anger towards him. Great anger. So you were deported, yes. But you're here. So his spirit has come back here. In anger, his spirit is here with us now.
The smell of urine's overwhelming.
It's getting worse and worse, isn't it?
And the cold is so bitter. I can't believe you can't see our breath.
I know, I'm shivering.
Cornelius?
in actual fact.
Cornelius.
There's a sound to the
Oh,
Table's moving. Cornelius, maybe we could call Phillips for you and you can come face to face and battle it out. There's a black shadow.
well done. Go
I
on,
have to say,
Leslie.
just when you said that, they almost seem like something moving in that cell at the end.
I know you're back,
Hold
aren't
on.
you?
Horrible.
Oh, I can smell the wee now.
Come on, Cornelius.
Yeah, it has. Come on, show us your anger. Show us your anger.
Sorry, Kath.
That's right.
You hurt.
Show us. Lift the table up.
God, that smell is awful.
Cold. You feel like you're going to start retching, don't you, when it's so bad?
Do you know, I actually don't know if I can stay down here much longer. It's that bad.
The dark past of the courts is unfolding before us. Would the angry Cornelius, deported to Australia for his crimes, and Captain Phillips, master of the vessel that carried him, make further contact with us in the coming hours of darkness?
You're telling me no one's done that end at all?
No, just us.
I honestly thought one of you was walking around, we're going to walk around the side.
The Most Haunted team are in Devon, investigating the old courts in Exeter. We've moved from the cells to the courtroom above, scene of Brian's apparent contacts with women tried as witches. Would their anguish at such false accusations help them break through the mists of time and make contact with us?